Hello, and welcome to Chubby Sports Takes with Chubby Chad. Brought to you by Nimco Gas and Ray Chapman. Hey, if any of you guys that are listening to this show use propane gas, you got to give Ray a call at 740-596-4477. This show doesn't happen without Ray. Thanks a bunch, Nimco Gas. Support them, Chubbies. Doug Hughes, Captain Doug, back this week. We had a great playoff week last week. We did our preview, and we were right on some things, Doug. We were wrong on some things. Overall, what was your impression of last week's wild card weekend?
It's a pretty fun weekend. I mean, it's enjoy. Like I said, I root for the Steelers, so I had nothing in any game, so I can enjoy all the games without getting all tore up or stressed or mad at the refs or mad at. I can just watch the game, right? And I thought they were good, and
you saw some dandies, dude. I mean, those were some close games, with the exception of the 49ers and the Cowboys that decided they weren't going to mess around. The other games were bangers, dude. Huh?
Even the 49ers struggled the first 60% of the game. It was, Seattle had the lead there in the third quarter, and then San Francisco flexed their muscles, which when I was watching the Bengals game, I was waiting for the Bengals to do the same thing in that third quarter, and they never really did. So
couldn't put it away. Couldn't put it away. All right, so which game you want to start with, man? I mean, it was a great weekend of ball games. I mean, do we start like in almost reverse, like probably like, in my opinion, the worst game of the weekend was the Monday night game with Tampa Bay and Dallas. Do you agree?
Yeah, that was bad. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot interesting there. I mean, the Cowboys just came out and shellacked them.
And they did, and they'll give them a new kicker. And I don't know what to think of the Cowboys. I thought they would win pretty good, but you never know with the NFL. But their defense, I mean, we're old enough to remember Lawrence Taylor. A lot of these people now that aren't the age, Parsons is right there. That's who he reminds me of.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I may have, and I'm guilty of this. I think both of us, if they start running stuff back, like I might have disrespected the Cowboys a little bit, man. Nobody thought that Tampa Bay was going to win, or I didn't anyway. I mean, but I didn't count them out because I never count Brady out, But man, did you expect that sort of domination going on, man?
I didn't expect Dak to be that good, but it's going to matter more. If he doesn't do it this week, last week's not going to count much.
You're right. I mean, and that's kind of what they're fighting in Dallas right now is, man, that's kind of been the team that they are this year, right? Like they're either great or really disappointing.
They got two good backs. They got two stud receivers. I mean, they are good, but
no reason for them not to be. I mean,
no, we'll have to see him against the 49ers here coming up. But I mean, it's just Dak looked great against the Buccaneers.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, you can take absolutely nothing away from that bunch, as far as the way they showed up for that game Monday night. I mean, now,
Cowboys fans have to be tickled. They have to be
right, and they should be. Yeah, and so all right, automatically. Now that we've done that. I think this is the way we'll format the show, Doug. Wait a minute. All right, let me ask you, man. Do we want to talk about each of last week's games before we even start about next week, or do we want to go now talk about the San Francisco game and then talk about San Francisco and Dallas matchup? How do you want to do it?
I'd say let's do San Francisco real quick, and then next week, and just kind of shoot over the AFC after that.
There you go. I like that. I like that. All right, so San Francisco. I mean, we touched on it there briefly. I mean, I think both of us picked them to be in the Super Bowl, correct?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, I know I did, and I thought that you did too. I thought we were in agreement on that.
My only hesitation was, Brock Purdy. I think someone at some point, and it could happen next week, is going to give the rookie quarterback fit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man. Does that dude look like a pro or not, though, Doug?
Boy. Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me, Mr. Irrelevant? Are you kidding me? Who do you credit? Do you credit Shanahan with that, man? Or is this kid like he just didn't have
So
the intangibles, but was a hell of a competitor. I mean, the kid was good at Iowa State, man.
So he had 4 years as Iowa State. He's slinging the ball around all over the place, and they're playing in that conference and throws the ball everywhere. And he looks darn confident, and I just don't know. I mean, he looks great to me. Shanahan is awesome.
Well, he's smart. He's smart, and this kid is smart. So, he's going to thrive in that.
Let's look at their weapons.
Oh my!
I mean, George Kittle might be your third or fourth weapon. That guy's incredible.
And how about that? I mean, do you hear what you just said? I mean, it's absolutely true. I mean,
Brandon Bayou, he's amazing, and then you have Deebo Samuel, who might be the most dangerous and interesting guy in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, I you know what? After watching this weekend, you got to be like, hey, man, Deebo Samuel, maybe the most dangerous guy in the playoffs.
He's different. So it's going to be a fun game. But that game they did what we thought they would do to Seattle, and old Coach Carroll has old tricks, and he kept them with it for a while, and they had a good plan. And
they hung in there, and you know what, man? I take my hat off to Geno Smith, man. Everybody thought that guy was washed up.
He was done. Yeah,
and he had a hell of a year this year, Doug.
I think Seattle was predicted for 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah,
they were one of the worst predicted teams coming out from Vegas and all those teams, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah,
and good for them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think they have anything to hang their head about, man. I can't imagine Seattle fans being disgruntled at this point.
No, I don't see what they'd be at. Yeah, I don't know.
They overachieved this year, man. I mean, I know you're always mad when your team gets knocked out of the playoffs, but I mean that was overachievement.
I mean, if the other team's better, I mean, I don't know. They played well, and San Francisco just took it to them at the end.
Hey, I believe that San Francisco is going to beat a lot of teams, but having said that, after this past Monday night, if the Dallas Cowboys show up like they did Monday, I don't know how quickly we can count them out, buddy. I mean, if that defense plays like that, I mean, they were smothering, man. I mean,
if their defense is going to be solid.
Now that might make, is it possible that it would make Purdy look like a rookie? Is it possible?
Well, someone incredible and elite like Parsons being snuffed through there, and a couple times he's chasing you, your heart rate changes a little bit. The speed of the game sped up a little bit, and all of a sudden you don't have 2.8 seconds, you have 2.6 seconds, and all of a sudden the defense is right there, and these completions are now tip balls and interceptions.
You better
and he's a risky little quarterback, and he's had no negative experiences so far.
No.
What's he going to do when he's had the negative experiences?
Yeah, what happens? Is the kid going to hold his water?
We may not see it. We may not see it.
No, we may not, because you know what Cowboys team is going to show up, but I'm going to tell you this. I mean, that Tampa Bay team looked bad, dude. I mean, their offensive line looked awful.
Brady, everyone's yelling at Brady, and he looked god awful. But he's if any quarterback has 1.8 seconds to throw, they're going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to be good?
And everyone's going to be like, "Why is he out there? Why is he out there?" Well, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, everybody made I've heard a lot of commentary that like, well, is Brady too old? Has he hung on too long? It's like, well, behind that behind that offensive line, Doug, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's going to go somewhere else next year, and he might go to the Super Bowl. Who knows? Don't count out. Don't get in the business of counting out Tom Brady. You know,
he threw for 4,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's all right.
Yeah. It's such a cerebral game now, man. And you know, the thing is Tom Brady is playing chess. He and Aaron Rodgers, everybody else playing checkers, man. I mean, they're just trying to catch up.
Even old fat Ben is playing chess with people last.
Oh, there's no question.
Those
man.
old guys. There's a reason they're still around.
Mm-hmm.
They're just smarter than they know what's going to happen.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, let's not go ahead and throw the dirt on Tom Brady yet, dude. I mean, we're probably not done watching him now. I think we might be done watching him in Tampa Bay. Matter of fact, I'm certain we are.
I kind of hope so.
Me too, man. I kind of want to see it. I enjoy that drama. I enjoy that soap opera side of
that division. That division's tough to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, man. But you know, just an absolute blowout in my opinion. I mean, the game wasn't close. And so now it gives me a little bit of hesitation with my Niners pick. I mean, I'm still confident in the Niners. I think they're a better football team. You discuss all those weapons, but man, if Dallas is going to play like that, they're a pretty damn good football team too.
Here's my thoughts. If Prescott and the Cowboys offense can be even or +1, with the 49ers quarterback and offense on turnovers, they can beat them.
Yeah.
If Dak throws 2 interceptions and fumbles once, it ain't going to be a game.
Nope. Then it's over, dude.
He can play a clean game. Maybe 1 turnover. But if he can play a clean game, and then they get to Purdy a little bit, they've got a chance.
Well, and I brought up with you. I mean, I got to bring this up as we're talking about this. I brought up last week. Like I asked you, you think Mike McCarthy's coaching for his job, and it was kind of like, well, I mean, he shouldn't be, but it could be a little irrational. But let's be honest, that dude's not a bad coach either.
No,
he's going to put him in. He's going to put him in a decent position, man.
Yeah, he's won 9 division titles. He's a good dude, and he can coach. And now if they got beat to 48-3 this weekend, he might be on the hot seat again.
Oh well, yeah. But that blowout, that blowout, he's secured, I think. And I do
too. It has to be bad.
Hey, I think this game now, Dallas, San Francisco is going to be a game, buddy. I mean,
when we both started watching football, it was the Cowboys and 49ers back in the day.
Man.
Tony Dorsett, Montana. Those were the teams. Back when we started watching football.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So it's kind of exciting, as an NFL fan, for me to see this matchup again being meaningful. What do you take on this, man? What's your prediction?
I'm going to say 49ers 27-21. Okay. Just what I'm thinking. I didn't.
Have you seen the spread? Have you seen the spread on that game?
I think their spread is I looked and I forget. Seems like it's 4.5.
That's what it was last time I saw it. It was 4.5.
I think
what I don't know is if it's moved, but it was at 4.5.
It's the least. Yeah. It could be good. This could be one to watch. You might not want to miss this game.
Well, I think it is a must watch this weekend, man.
It could be. All 4 games could be. Anyone could win.
Oh, intriguing matchups, man. So what did you say? What did you say again? 27 to what?
Let's go 27-21.
Okay, and you're taking?
Oh, I'm taking the 49ers.
Yeah. Okay. Me too, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to go. I am predicting a Cowboys slump. Okay. Sorry, Cowboy fans. I'm going to go with a Cowboy slump, and I'm saying it's going to be 27-14.
Okay, that's not as fun, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's not as fun, but I think you're going to see a solid victory from the 49ers. And I'm pulling that from a place where the sun doesn't shine, buddy. I mean, we're sitting here talking about all the scenarios. Anything could happen, and I'll tell you, Dallas looks so capable. They look so capable.
Our craziest thoughts and our predictions, we both have Dallas making all their extra points.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, that might be a little crazy there. Yeah, that might be a little crazy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, man. So now, what game you want to talk about next, man? I mean, hey, let's get a little bit of excitement in here. I mean, or do you want to like work to the crescendo of the excitement? Do you want to go to the other snoozer or?
Man, I think we made that exciting.
I think we did. I think we did a hell of a job. I mean, I totally agree with you. But like,
go where you want. You want to check out the Eagles and Giants real quick, or you want
to? Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I mean, every other game was really pretty amazing after those two, man. Like
they were solid, yeah.
Yeah, like let's talk about Minnesota and New York. I mean, down to the wire. The Vikings, in my opinion, Doug, just can't get it done.
No, they can't. And Kirk Cousins can't get it in the playoffs. And
no.
Do you watch the Annie Agar stuff on? Have you ever watched her stuff on the recaps after each NFL week?
Yes, not every week, but yes, I have.
Oh my Lord! Have you listened to this week?
No, I have not. I have not seen that.
Well, do yourself a favor after all this stuff, and people got to watch it. She absolutely drilled it. It's hilarious, and
yeah.
I hate to even talk about it because he just nailed it so good. But
well, I mean,
Minnesota can't. they can't. I don't know. Minnesota can't quite get it done. Their coach seems like he's out of it on the sideline.
Yeah.
And then on the other sideline, you got old Brian Dable over there, and that's just the guy I think football fans love.
I'm going to tell you what, is that guy like right now the most?
He's like one of us out there.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that guy, that guy is the best pure football guy in the playoffs right now. He's awesome.
He's ready for everything. He's not.
Yeah.
He might look like a schlep, but he's ready to go.
I love it,
he's
man.
He's not one of the 35-year-old analytical coaches. He knows. He knows what's going on. And
hey, he's dressing comfortably. He probably had a pregame pizza and probably had heartburn during the game, dude. I mean, that's what that guy looks like to me.
And I love that Daniel Jones did a good. I mean, he's good. I love that.
Listen, man.
When that dude got drafted out of Duke, everyone just made fun. Everyone just had at him for no reason.
Hey, I'll throw it out there right now, man. Anybody that wants to say, hey, I'll take Kirk Cousins over Daniel Jones, bring it, dude, and I'll beat you every week. I mean, that is the most ridiculous take. Kirk Cousins, man, and I'm not throwing shade at Kirk. He's a survivor. And I'll tell you what, that guy's made more money for less results than any guy in the NFL.
Well, for someone with 37,000 passing yards, he hadn't done anything in the playoffs. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, that guy cannot close. I'm sorry. Not a closer. He's not a closer.
And I think I heard him say Daniel Jones has rushed for 53 first downs this season. I think I heard him say that.
Well, I mean, yes, he has. And the thing is, man, Daniel Jones, sorry, he's got more fight in him, man. He'll stay alive. He'll make something happen.
He's one of them weak Dukelins that everyone laughs at. He's pretty, I don't know. I'm rooting for him.
I am too. Well, I mean, hey, man, that was the win that Daniel Jones needed. I mean, would you agree with that? I mean,
100%. Because he's in the top half of the quarterbacks, but he needed that win not to be a Kirk Cousins.
Absolutely, man.
And now he's to the next level. Now he's got a chance to move on up a little more.
Yep, there you go. And so, and he'll get his chance this weekend, man.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that would be the chalk pick to go to the Super Bowl for the NFC, man. I'm just not feeling it. I think they're depleted. I think guys are hurt. I think that they've struggled down the stretch a little bit. I think they've looked susceptible, and the Giants are hot, dude.
The Giants are warm. Yeah, you said it.
But are they good enough to beat the Eagles? Who? I mean, listen, the Eagles are legit. I mean,
here's an Eagles thought, because the Eagles they were kicking. I thought at first, okay, this team's 6-0. They're not very good. They're 7-0. They're not very good. They're 8-0.
Right.
Well, you know what? Maybe they are good. And then they were like 12-1, and then they got hurt a little bit, and then they kind of struggled through the last 4 or 5 games. I'm not real sure how motivated they were those 4 or 5 games. Yeah. But that being said, it's hard to get it back when you do that. We've seen a lot of teams do this over the years. It's hard to be that one seed because one seeds don't always do well. And
nope.
I like Jalen Hurts, but I'm a little shaky on if he can get it done. But they've played the Giants.
Is he healthy? Is he healthy? I mean,
I think he's healthy enough. The last time they played, he wasn't very healthy, and they barely beat the Giants, but they beat him. The first time they played, they waxed them by 20-some points.
Right. But this is a different Giants team, dude.
It is. And what's funny is...
And it's a different Eagles team. I mean...
The game they played close, they didn't have Saquon Barkley.
Right.
That's what's weird to me. And the game they blew them out, they did have Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
It's a little bit odd. It's like they knew what was going to happen because Saquon wasn't playing or something.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think that will be a good game. What's your prediction on that game, man?
Well, so far we've seen everything. When you play each other 3 times, it's apparently going to be close.
It's going to be a ball game.
It's going to be a game. So I'm going to go.
What's the spread on that? Have you seen the spread on that one?
Yeah, I have, and I think it's 7.5, maybe.
It's big. Last I saw it opened up at like 6. It's 7.5. I mean, the Giants are a 7.5. That's a touchdown plus dog.
I'm going to go 30-23.
Okay. Eagles. Okay.
Fly Eagles.
Okay. So you're saying that the Giants are going to cover, but you're still picking the outright winner as the Eagles.
That's the score I picked. I ain't looking at that spread because, man, Vegas, they are crazy. I mean,
yeah,
it's just everything they predict ends up being close.
I'm going like this. Weird. Hey, this week I'm going off script because everything last week was close. I think this week we're going to see some sloppy football, dude, and I'm going to take the Eagles 30-12.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
I did look ahead at the officiating crews because there's some guys that worry me.
Wow.
I thought
Interesting.
The officiating crews all look good to me. I mean, it's all guys that.
So you don't think they're going to make? They're not going to be a factor, is what you're saying.
The one that worries me most, of course, is the Buffalo Bengals. But but they have good crews, and those guys don't want to do bad because they don't get the big games if they do bad. So
no, man, and that's probably
pretty good.
I mean, and I don't know. I mean, maybe Doug, and you can tell me this. Maybe it's because I'm a Bengal fan. I still think that's the biggest game of the weekend, dude. Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Oh, Chad, there's no doubt. I'm not just making me happy so you'll have me back. That's the biggest. That's the game I want to watch the most. Everybody wanted to watch that game a couple weeks ago, and we didn't get to. We want to watch it now.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. That's going to be good. Heck, let's go ahead and go. We're going to shift over to the AFC right now, and let's go ahead and talk first about the Buffalo-Miami game. I think Miami, with their third-team quarterback, came out and just shocked the world, dude. I mean, that was amazing.
I don't know. Give them credit. Give them credit. And what that coach was doing on the sideline, not getting those plays in late. What in the world is he doing?
Buddy, I don't know. I talked about that with another guest. Homer and I were talking about, like, man, I can't explain. I was so glad that I was not the Dolphins fan. I don't know whether that had to do with the third team quarterback. I don't know whether the headphones in his ear in his helmet went bad. But how do you not have a play ready? How do you not have a play ready in that scenario?
Once you've done it 2 or 3 times and you've had that error 2 or 3 times, I don't care what the excuse is. It's got to be fixed.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and I mean, these are professional players.
They're driving down the field. They've got the clock in their hands. There's 3:22 on the clock. Yeah. And then there's someone entered on the field. The clock's running. So they reset the game clock, or they reset the play clock. And the clock got down to 2:27, and they didn't get the playoff. They had 55 seconds and did not get a playoff in 55 seconds.
Terrible.
And they could have done anything. It's not like it was it was just blew me away how coaches can spend 100 hours a week in pregame and planning and all that, and then they can't handle the clock.
Yeah.
That drives me insane.
And I mean, Josh Allen came out there. I mean, he became a pick machine there, man, and that was that was ugly. If I was a Bills fan, that'd make me a little nervous, man, because the Miami defense isn't known to be that savage, and you're playing against a third team quarterback, and I mean, man, and I felt like there was a major foul up on the sideline of Miami, man.
Oh my gosh, it was bad. Buffalo played like garbage, I thought, and I don't think they played good in a while.
Well, and I mean, you look at them and the Bengals game, which we'll transition to next, but like they both, I mean, just barely survived this week. I mean, and that's sometimes what the playoffs are about, like going out there, not having a great game, and just getting to next week. I mean, Well,
let me ask you something about this Bengals-Ravens game.
Yeah. Are we going to move? We're going to move to that. Yeah, let's move to it because we're going to.
If you want to, I just thought
let's go. Let's go. Bengals Ravens, man. I mean, what can we say? Buffalo. I don't feel like they're the standard Buffalo team. Okay.
Exactly.
But now let's go. Bengals Ravens. What a game! I mean, I was sitting here telling you that the Bengals are going to win by 40. Not the case, dude.
And I think I said last week, I don't know how it could be close, except for the NFL. I don't know, and I still don't know because.
Well, I'll tell you what, Huntley got himself a job somewhere next year. I mean, that guy looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah, I mean.
But here's the question I was going to ask you. You have Harbaugh, who's been a great coach for 15 years or whatever, and he plays these Ravens games where they want to score 19 points and win or score 16 points and win.
Yeah.
Knowing that, when he's going down the field in a tie game and they've got his second goal or whatever, do you really think he would call for the quarterback to jump over the top like that?
No way, man. No, I mean, that kid improvised.
And
it led to probably the most bonkers defensive play that I've seen in years. Probably one of my favorite. They're now calling it the fumble in the jungle or whatever. And I mean, it was outstanding. I mean, it was outstanding. If you're
my favorite title was what they call it, the Hubbard yard run.
Yeah, he ran the Hubbard yard dash.
the Hubbard yard dash. The Hubbard yard dash. I thought that was great. But I don't know. I mean, the day before, Trevor Lawrence did that play when no one's ever seen it before.
No, and that, you know what, Doug? I'm glad you said that, because I think that there were eyes on that play. Okay,
I do too.
And I think it had influenced Huntley's decision to try to just take that up over the top and lay the ball over. The thing he forgot is he isn't that 6'4", 6'5" freak of nature horse face.
He was a yard farther away too.
Yeah.
And it had been done the day before.
Yeah.
So,
and what a brilliant play by Logan Wilson to just bat that thing out of there.
Oh, absolutely. But don't think he wasn't kind of looking for maybe something like that to happen.
Well, everybody saw the play yesterday, buddy.
If Trevor Lawrence doesn't do that, do the Bengals win?
Oh,
that's an interesting.
Thank you, Trevor.
I know one thing.
Yeah,
I know one thing. I wanted the Baltimore to score there because they should have, because they drove all the way down the field.
Yep.
They did everything perfect, and then it got cute and stupid, and they were going to be up 7.
Yep.
I think we just saw our first overtime with the new overtime rules.
I agree.
That's what I was wanting.
I totally agree, Doug. And here's the thing, man. The thing that was disappointing to me in the Bengals was they had chances then to put this thing away, man. I mean, you had that block punt, and we could not close out the game. And I found that frustrating.
A couple times when I was just watching, like I said, I'm in it. I just want to watch a good game.
Right.
And the things weren't going great for the Bengals. They weren't doing well. A couple calls went against them a little bit. A couple weird things happened.
Yeah.
And then the camera would keep showing Zach Taylor. He kind of looked like he was the upset fan and not the coach.
Right.
Is what I thought.
You thought maybe there was a loss of composure.
He wasn't really tore up. He just kind of like the "Are you kidding me?" look, and he was getting too into like, next play. What's next? You can't go back.
Yeah,
it's like he lost that a little bit, but again, the whole team kind of.
Yeah,
and you got to get.
Well, I mean that game got super chippy. I mean, you could see in the post game from the Ravens, which I thought was handled awful. Harbaugh's interview was terrible. J.K. Dobbins embarrassed himself.
Yeah.
The way that Peter was played and this, I mean, man, that was bad.
And the first part of the game, it looked like Baltimore was trying to be purposely Dennis Rodman to see if the Bengals would retaliate.
Just to see if they could draw them in. And you know what? Good strategy, Doug.
Because you're the lesser team.
Yeah. What they have to lose, man. They had nothing to lose.
And the Bengals, after a while, the call went against the Ravens on that one time. They did that, and they should have. Yeah. And the Bengals, they held their own there. So I was proud of them there because that's hard to do in football.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of testosterone.
Oh, hell yeah, there is. So, I mean, that. Now let's move to the other side there. Cincinnati Buffalo. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What do you think, man? I mean, I think like we already said. I mean, hell, we can't seem to stop alluding to it. I think it's going to be the best game of the weekend. I'm excited. I mean, these two teams, they gave us a little taste. I honestly think the game could be a coin flip. Honestly, even though I'm a Bengals fan, the offenses are looking in the mirror at one another. I think Joe Burrow might be a little more careful with the ball, but I might give them the advantage as far as O-line. However, I might give our defense, the Bengals defense, the tip of the hat there.
Well, as I stated last week, the Bengals defense, and I did look up the third team because I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
In the 3 big games late in the year, they beat the Chiefs on a late fumble of Kelsey. They stripped it. They forced that. Kelsey didn't fumble. Yes. That was a wrestling match, and he lost. Yes. That won the game for the Bengals against the Chiefs. Period. Yes. I don't care what anyone says. That won the game.
No
Chiefs
question.
Going to win it. Then they played the Patriots in week 16 or 17, I believe. And it was, the division's still up in the air, and the Bengals played like crap. The Patriots came back. They got all the way down inside the 20. Bengals stripped them again and got the recovery and went on to win the game. What happened last week with the Ravens? It wasn't looking good, and they got it again. And it's 3 big games. They've had the late fourth quarter strip fumbles. If the Bengals can do that again,
making plays.
I don't know. they've made the plays, and that's how you get to the Super Bowl. You make those plays.
Well, that's the way you got to play in the playoffs, man. And I mean, I'll tell you, I think when you look on paper, I don't know that you can give an edge to either one other than the home team and the weather in Buffalo. And I mean, I was shocked to see that Buffalo is actually a 5-point favorite.
I just can't come to grips with that. I think the Bengals are just better.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I'm willing to say like outright that they're just better, but like 5 points, dude, like that's a big spread for
maybe they aren't better, but look at the last 8. What's the Bengals winning streak? They have
9 games. Yeah,
and the Bills haven't looked good in 9 games.
No. So that's the trajectories are different. And like, look, man, I mean, nobody wants to talk about the DeMar game. Nobody wants to talk about that because it was a bad memory, right? But let me tell you something. The way the Bengals started that game, Burrow was on point, man. We were dicing them up. I mean,
the Bengals are one of those teams where I can overlook this Ravens thing and they didn't play well, and I can overlook the Patriots thing.
Right.
I think they kind of had it. I don't know. I think they're going to be so jetted up for the Bills, for maybe the Chiefs if they make the Super Bowl. No. I think the Bengals are that team that just they kind of
a little bit on teams they think they're going to win. Yeah, I agree. Like I think the Bengals,
they're arrogant. They got the chip. They think they're good.
Yeah,
I think they're going to come out, and the Bills' defense is not good.
Well, here's the thing, Doug. I think that the Bengals are a team. I mean, we took the hard road last year. Right? Like we got to win in on the road, and the NFL really is doing us a favor here. I mean, I don't know what in the hell that was. They were releasing ticket sales in Kansas City and Buffalo for a neutral site game. They're already calling the winners this week. And it's like, man, that's pretty disrespectful. I hope we've got Chip. Plus you're a 5-point dog. I mean,
it seems like there's from I'm a Steelers fan,
Yeah.
And from my perspective, it seems like there's a Bengals PR person or Bengals hype media person that is just setting stuff out there for Bengals fans to get ticked about, and teams get ticked about, and then they all buy in. They can get tore up about the officials, about Tony Romo. They're going to be mad about Tony Romo. They're going to be mad about the officials.
You're right.
There's a lot of feelings going on. No one respects Cincinnati, and us Reds fans do the same dumb thing.
Oh yeah, well, I think that and you know what, man, fans overemphasize the bulletin board stuff. I talked about it with Homer.
They're fanatics.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in the locker room, I mean, there might be talk like that, and they'll feed the fans with some of that stuff. But honestly, dude, once you go out there, the first hit, the Mike Tyson quote, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face. And all that stuff leaves as soon as the game starts. So, what's your pick? 100%. Well, I mean, what's your pick?
Burrow's not worried about all the
no.
stuff.
I hope he's not. I hope he's not thinking about it, dude. I mean,
he's
honestly.
not thinking a bit about it. He's got the big smile. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of snow in the forecast.
I know there's going to be
Buffalo,
snow and wind. The thing I'm more worried about is the wind. I guess snow and wind. I mean, both these teams can play in the snow. Wind. Both these teams need to be able to throw the ball for it to be an exciting game.
I can't believe how much Buffalo didn't run last week. Honestly, I thought they would run more, but just
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They're kind of a mirror of each other, man. Like both of them like the short passing game to take over the running game. They've both been throwing a lot.
Joe's more secure with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals line does better protecting him, I think, and I think the Bengals weapons are better.
Yeah, I do too. They've got a lot of weapons, but I mean, I think ours are better, man. I think we're harder to cover if you've got the Bills defense.
There's something fishy about that 5.5. I don't know.
Well, and it's not. I mean, look, man, that Ravens defense might be the best defense we'll play in the playoffs, all the way to the Super Bowl.
It was solid. I mean, they got things going there again, but Harbaugh's a good coach. They've seen the Bengals twice. They know what the Bengals going to do.
Yep. So, I mean, all right, man. What's your prediction in this one? I don't want to spend too much on the Bengals because everybody gets tired of hearing me talk about them.
No, they don't. We love the Bengals. My gosh, I could see this game going 100 ways.
Yeah.
Something about that line is just fishy to me.
I don't like it.
It's like that. Yeah. If I'm thinking Vegas and I'm trying to outthink Vegas, that line is too good, and they want everyone to take that Bengals. And it's 5.5 points.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo wins by 6 or 7.
Yeah, there you go.
That just, and something seems, and to me, as a fan, I want to see the Bengals Chiefs. But I'm not sure the NFL doesn't want to see the Buffalo.
Everybody wants that rematch. Yeah, either game would be great. I mean, here's where I'm going, man. I think that if the Bengals win, they'll win by 10. And I think if Buffalo wins, they'll kick a field goal at the last second to win. So I am going to, my prediction is going to be, I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be 48-38 Bengals.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't see the over-under because the over-under was spot on last week, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was 40.5 and they scored 41.
Yep.
I agree with if the Bengals win, I think they win nicely. Mm-hmm. I think they win nicely if they win. And if they lose, it's going to be the all-time thriller, some fancy name. DeMar's going to start the game with the big buffalo flag running onto the field or something.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Don't count it out. Yeah, Don't count it out. Yeah. You heard it here first if it happens. I hope whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take the Bengals because I just think they're better.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the better team. I think they're better. I'm going to take the Bengals 34-27.
Okay, I like it.
I think the Bengals are better.
All right, so it leads us to the last game. Okay. What a playoff game. I got to be honest. I went to bed at halftime. I thought it was over. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chargers. I go to bed on it and wake up to see that I shouldn't have gone to bed.
Well, I stayed up because that's what I do. And I had a little bit of a feeling. It's like, it was so weird. And that Chargers coach, Staley, I mean, he held his job, but they just fired the offensive coordinator and said, well, they scored 31 points. Or whatever.
I couldn't believe it. And I would think you'd fire the defensive coordinator.
The defensive coach like, yeah, we got out of that one. Yeah. But, I mean, they're way ahead. They're 27-0, and they give up a score right before half there.
Yeah.
All they got to do is basically score 7 or 10 points, and there's no chance of anyone
run the
back.
clock.
And they didn't do anything in the second half to do anything to score. Jacksonville's defense looked awesome.
Yep.
The Chargers didn't adjust at all.
Yep.
And then Trevor Lawrence, he did that stuff at Clemson.
You know what? He looked good, dude. He was magical. I mean, I'll give him that.
The Jaguars were, I think, 3-7 and made the playoffs.
All right, so here's your thing. So here is your thing. All right, I mean, I'm not trying to discount that game, but like, do they have any chance against the Chiefs? Oh shoot! I just lost connection. Just lost connection. Lost connection. We're about finished. We got to get through all the games.